All right, everyone. So this is our next budget meal, and it should fall under the $5 budget meal. All right, everyone. So before I continue on with the video, I just wanted to let you know that I originally was going to make this a budget meal video, but then I realized I was going to be in the kitchen for a good part of the day just making various things. So I decided to make this video a day in the life in the kitchen video. So you'll see various things made. So let's move on with the video. But I am going to make a pound of spaghetti. I'm going to use the whole pound because we intend on eating it for 2 days for two people. So that's what should make it into a $5 meal per night. So I've got a half a pound of ground beef. I'm going to use some of these mushrooms, not all of them, and I'm just going to cut them up into little pieces. I'll use some onion. I've got some pasta sauce and a pound of spaghetti. So this is mainly a food pantry meal, but I also want to show that they can be budget meals if you don't get it from the food pantry, that it could fall under the $5 meal if that's all you had, if you were limited on your funds for food. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up the onion, chop up some of these mushrooms. I've got water on the stove boiling for the spaghetti noodles. So we're going to start cooking this. Okay, so I'm just cutting up my onions right now. And I like to chop my onions like really small when I eat the onions, like in the spaghetti and whatever else we put onions in. So with the exception of like stew or anything like that, then I cut them a little bigger. But yeah, if I'm eating it, it's going to get cut up small. I'm going to go ahead and cook this with the ground beef as well as the mushrooms. And again, I'm only using half an onion because I'm only using half a pound of ground beef. So I don't want too much onion in there or a whole bunch of onion. So I think I'm due for a new knife, not this size, but the bigger red one I'm always using. It's quite dull. And the sharpener, I got these knives as a set a couple years ago. I don't know if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but I got a set of knives off of Amazon, and they were less than $20. I think even less than 15. But it came with this one, which is it's probably like a 5-inch cutting knife. And then it came with the big red one I always use. And then it came with a long purple one, which I always keep in a tote with our camping stuff. And then it came also with the orange paring knife. And it came with a sharpener. And these knives have been really good. This is sharp. But that red one, I use it all the time and it gets really dull. But now the sharpener is pretty much dull too, so I can't really sharpen the red one anymore. So instead of buying a whole new set, I think I'm going to search for just the bigger knife. So yeah, but for the price I paid for them, the whole set lasted a pretty good amount of time. They cut really good. None of the paint chipped off of it. I didn't use them in a dishwasher because I don't have one, and I only wash it with the sponge side of a Scotch pad, a dishwashing pad. I only use the sponge side of it to clean these, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to buy a bigger knife, a new one. Like I said, these other ones are still good. Also came with a green serrated knife for bread knife. And those are all still good because I didn't use them as much as the red one. That was pretty much my main knife. I still use it, but you can tell it's dull. And every time I sharpened it, it really got sharp. But now the sharpener is pretty dull too. So I can't complain for the price I paid for the set. So yeah, I'm just going to finish cutting these onions, then cut some mushrooms up. And as I said, my water's going on the stovetop, and it's barely past noon, and I'm cooking supper already because we want the flavor of the onions and the mushroom and the pasta sauce to just really get in there. So we just wanted to get it cooked early so it can sit and flavors can come together. So what I think I might even do is once I'm done cooking it, Glenn might want to have a little bowl, but maybe put it in the bigger Hot Logic so it can stay warm all day. And then when we're ready to eat tonight, I think I'll make some garlic bread. So yeah, we plan on eating spaghetti for 2 nights. Oh, Blackie said no, maybe not. he doesn't approve. So yeah, you can see I cut this stuff up pretty small for me. And the mushrooms, it's okay to cut them small because Glenn doesn't like them big anyway. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this stuff up, and then we'll be ready to start frying up this ground beef and get this spaghetti going. All right, everyone, so I had to put this in the microwave for a few just to defrost it. That's why the discoloration there. I try not to defrost it completely just because it starts to cook it, and I don't want it to cook in the microwave. Alright, so when I cook the ground beef, I cook it on a lower heat just so it doesn't get like overdone really quick before the onions and mushrooms will have a chance to get soft. Well, mainly the onions. The mushrooms are already soft. There are some still frozen pieces in there. So even though I'm cooking quite a bit of spaghetti for 2 days, I'm still only using half a pound of ground beef because Glenn doesn't like a lot of ground beef in the dishes. So, and neither do I. So we just kind of like it to have a fair amount of ground beef with the spaghetti noodles. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add the onions and mushrooms in there. Well, actually, I'm just going to do the onions right now because the mushrooms are already soft. Alright, I'm just going to throw some salt and pepper in there. Alright, so I'm just going to cook this up, and then, yeah, we're just going to get this going. And that way supper will be done earlier in the day, and I don't have to worry about making it later on. Okay, everyone, so I've got the spaghetti noodles cooking right now. The spaghetti sauce is in the ground beef, and that's just warming up and staying warm. So while the spaghetti noodles are cooking, I'm going to start on something else. So I'm making a bland diet for Gypsy. She's got a little bit of an upset stomach. So I'm going to make some rice right now, white rice, no salt, no butter, no seasonings whatsoever. I already made the chicken, so that's 1 chicken breast, no seasonings, nothing, just plain chicken breast. I'm going to shred that up a little more and mix it in with some white rice, and then have that as her bland diet for a few days until she's better. I also mix pumpkin in, pure pumpkin. Make sure it's pure pumpkin. All right, so I've got my container of rice, and I am going to rinse my rice to get rid of some of that starch. So I'm going to put it in a strainer here and go rinse it. Okay, I've rinsed off my rice, that excess starch. So now I'm going to add 2 cups of water to this. Let me go take this to the sink. So I add a little less than 2 cups, but that should be fine. So 1 cup of rice to little less than 2 cups of water. I'm going to put it on a medium heat, wait for it to boil, and then give it a mix. Turn the heat down to low, and then cook it for 20 minutes. Alright, so I've got the rice going on the stove. I'm just going to shred up this chicken a little bit. Yeah, so this is a day, a day in the life in the kitchen here of things I'm making. So after the spaghetti's done, and I've got that in the Hot Logic, keeping it warm, I'm going to hard boil some eggs, possibly make some deviled eggs for a midday snack. I don't know what he'll want for lunch, but maybe I'll just make some deviled eggs. Maybe we'll have a hot dog, and then spaghetti will be ready for supper tonight. And then I'll do the deviled eggs, the hard-boiled eggs, deviled eggs, and then I'll make a dessert. And I think I'm going to do like a chocolate pudding pie. So, and that'll fill up my day in the kitchen. Just washing dishes after each bunch, a little here, a little there. Trying to keep the dishes under control. But that's ready. And then when the rice is done, I'll just let it cool down before I even feed any of it to her. So she knows she's getting, she's standing by my side right here. She knows she's going to be getting some because she knows chicken. She actually knows the words chicken and rice because she goes nuts when she hears that. So, all right. So I'm going to check on the spaghetti noodles and I'll be back. Okay, so here is the pasta sauce. I'm going to throw it in the spaghetti now. All right, so eating a side like garlic bread will help fill you up. So if I eat garlic bread, then I won't have as much spaghetti, and that will for sure leave us more for tomorrow. All right, so I'm not going to put this in the Hot Logic like I originally planned. I'm just going to cover it, leave it on the stove, and just let it sit there. So, all right. So that's the spaghetti, and stay tuned when I come back and make some hard-boiled eggs and possibly deviled eggs. Okay, everyone, so on to the next thing I'm cooking today. So it looks like I'm getting everything done today, but spaghetti is done. I turned it off, and it'll sit there until we're ready to eat tonight. And now I'm going to boil some eggs. And this is an 18 pack, use 3 of them, and I'm going to boil the rest of them. 6 are going to be for deviled eggs, and the others are going to be just for hard-boiled eggs to have for snacks. And we still have 3 dozen in our mudroom. I'll just call it mudroom. I always call it the hallway, but for all intents and purposes, it is a mud room. I take my snow boots off in there, and the shovel is in there for shoveling snow. It's cold in there. So we keep our eggs in the mud room where they stay nice and cold. So even though I'm going to boil all of these eggs, we still have 3 dozen in the mud room. So we're still okay right now. So what I've seen is eggs are going up like crazy all over the place. So anytime I get a digital coupon or any sale for eggs, I'm going to stock up on them. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead, and I think there's 15 here. Yeah, there's an 18 pack and 3 were missing. So I'm going to go ahead and put some water in, put them on the stove to boil. And then while that's going on, we've had this bag of chocolate chip cookie mix. So we've had this for a long time. So I'm just going to go ahead and make these for a snack. So yeah, let me get the eggs going and I'll come back and make these. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make these cookies while I wait for the eggs to boil. And yeah, like I said, we've had this for a really long time, and why not use it up, right? Alright. Alright. It wasn't softened. I put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds to soften it. So most of it's just softened. A little bit is melted. And a tablespoon of water. Alright, so I just went ahead and mixed this, but I think what I'm going to do is add some more chocolate chips in there. I don't think it has enough. So I'm going to keep our chocolate chips in this storage container. I love these things. Alright, now it looks like it has enough. What's a chocolate chip cookie without enough chocolate chips? Alright, so I'm just going to put some on this cookie sheet. Okay, so I've got 11 here, but yeah, let's throw them in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. All right, everyone. So it's just about 2:30 now, and I'm so hungry. I am going to eat some hot dogs. Glenn had a little bit of spaghetti. He says he's good. He'll probably wait for the deviled eggs, but I'm not waiting. I'm so hungry. All right. So if you've been with the channel for a while, if you remember, the way I like to eat my hot dogs, with tomatoes on it. This is all I like on my hot dogs. Tomato, a little bit of salt, and it's so good. Yeah, some people think I'm weird, but... So the reason I like to have them this way, one, because I like the taste. That's up, it's important to like the taste. But another reason is it's fond memories with my mom. When I was a teenager, I used to hang out with my mom a lot. And we used to go to lunch and go to the mall, back when malls were popular in the 80s. And yeah, so we would go to lunch, and there was this hot dog place called Casper's Hot Dog. They were like, I think they were like 12-inch hot dogs, but they were long. And we would just sit down and have lunch, and I always had my hot dogs this way. She didn't, but it's the fact of just having that memory of going to lunch with mom, you know. So I spent a lot of time with my mom. As I said in the past, while other teenagers were hanging out with other teenagers. I was hanging out with Mom. We used to go to the movie theater, matinee movie, and yeah, so yeah, that's a part of why I like to have them this way. Just brings back memories. But these are chili cheese corn chips, Aldi brand, I believe. But we got these at the Pantry last year. And we got 2 bags. Well, we got multiple bags, but we had 2 bags left, and they were both closed. So I just opened one up the other day. We didn't have chips or anything, so I thought I'd open these up. They taste fine. And that's the story of the tomatoes on my hot dog. And I'm going to go have lunch now. All right, so I will be back at some point. All right, everyone, so I've already done the hard-boiled eggs, so I have 9 hard-boiled eggs right here, and these are just going to go in the refrigerator for snacks. They're already peeled. Now, if you remember that last video where I recorded peeling the eggs in that little jar, and none of them wanted to work except that one. Well, I did that this time also, and it worked like a charm, all of them. Oh, actually, one of them, I just had to get that skein and peel it back, and then the rest peeled off. But yeah, I didn't record it, but so you have to take my word for it, but it worked like a charm. I did 15 eggs in no time at all. It was very nice. So yeah, figures the time it works, I didn't record it. But like I said, 8 or 9 eggs going in the refrigerator for snacks, and I'm gonna cut 6 eggs for whatchamacallit, deviled eggs. All right, so I'm just gonna cut these, and then the yolks I'm gonna squeeze in there. Or get a spoon and scoop them out. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I ate my lunch, my hot dogs, and good timing for letting the process get done on the eggs. And now it's 3:40 in the afternoon. Time is going by so fast. So I'm going to just finish this up, and I'll be back. So just about everything is done as far as cooking and baking. I made those cookies, but I still wanted to make the chocolate pudding pie. But I have to make a crust for it, bake the crust. I'm not going to use graham cracker crust. I'm going to make a regular pie crust, but it was frozen, so I'm letting it thaw out right now. And I'll bake that and put the pudding pie in that. So yeah. And then after that, everything should be done as far as cooking / baking, appetizers, snacks, dessert, everything. And then I don't actually have to do anything tomorrow except breakfast or lunch or whatever we eat tomorrow. Oop, that one squeezed right out. That's the nice thing about getting it all done in one day, then you don't have to worry about it tomorrow, except the morning meal. All right, so I'm going to finish this, and I'll be back. All right, everyone, so we each took a couple of deviled eggs, and I have these 4x4 stainless steel dishes, They come with covers, and I'm going to go ahead and put the deviled eggs in there and put them in their refrigerator. So I think I can get all of them on here. Squeeze that one in there. I feel like I should keep going. do something else, make something else. I would make the chocolate pudding pie, but this is still thawing. And I was just going to wait till tomorrow to make it, but I figure, well, just make it today. It'll be done for tomorrow already. So that way tomorrow, all I have to do is either breakfast or lunch, whatever we eat, or both. I don't know. But yeah, there's the deviled eggs. Going to cover them, put them in the fridge. All right, everyone. So after I finished with the deviled eggs, I had a couple. Then I sat back on the recliner and I dozed off for just a bit. But now it's time to eat supper. And I am making some garlic bread from just regular sandwich bread. I did save up some of that other bread, but the ones we received from the pantry that we could use for sub sandwiches and stuff, but when I opened it up, it had mold on it, so could not use it. A lot of the breads, last time I was there, not last week, but the week before, I saw much of the bread that they had in the delivery area with obvious tons of mold on the bread, on the outside of it, or on the front of it. It's very noticeable. So it's hit and miss whether you get good bread or bad bread from there. Alright, so I'm just preheating the oven, rewarming some spaghetti. I'm not warming up all the spaghetti I made because obviously we're not going to eat it all, so I don't want to rewarm it and then put it in the fridge. So I'm warming some of it, and yeah, we'll have our spaghetti and some garlic bread. And I think I am going to do the pudding pie tomorrow because I'm pretty much just done. We have the cookies to snack on for tonight, and that's good. So I'll just do the pudding pie tomorrow. And yeah, I just kind of feel done. So, all right, wait for the spaghetti to be ready, and I'll just show you our plates. All right, everyone, so here is our spaghetti dinner with our garlic bread. So that's going to do it for this day in the life in the kitchen video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. I appreciate all of you and the support you give the channel. And with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.